Welcome back to the A-Star Starship. My name is Kale, founder of the A-Starship, and I am working on the CrabsClaw agent framework, my Chinese room abstract stack machine C++ API on GitHub. Used to be called Script 2, but we've always had the Crabs machine, and I just got sick and tired of saying what script meant. Serial Chinese room interprocess and telemetry script. Yeah, that sounds cool. We got the script spec. That's still the script spec, has our own little RPC engine, IoT, just a basic thing, nothing really super sophisticated. But the ASCII data specification is the main thing. Our contiguous memory, we got a 16-bit pattern with 8,000 different contiguous memory types, like dictionaries, maps, lists, strings, a bunch of different types of strings. You know, Unicode's a lot more complicated than it sounds. You'd think it's just I'm just printing a string, right? This is like the most easy goddamn thing in the world, right? No. No. No, it's actually quite complicated. There's a lot of computer science behind it. Then we got our variant compression. Sorry, not variant. Varint. Apologize. That one is the MSB variant encoded, meaning that if the sign bit is asserted, meaning that it is 1, that you will load another number to keep adding bits on, so you could have, as long a one as you want. 64 bytes is optimal, or sorry, 64-bit is the optimal size because the math works out perfectly on that one. But it is useful for an n-bit big int. So what are we working on? Let's get right into it. I don't want to get too lost on a rabbit trail here. I am transitioning to vibe coding. We got the local LLM server running on my RTX 3090 that I bought for an AI computer that I never put together, and then figured out how you can run it using the CPU memory with the mixture of experts, and then we're using preemptive. What is it called? Uh, Prediction, preemptive token prediction, I think. Forget exactly what it is. I could look at that in LM Studio right now. It shouldn't take too long. But that uses like a smaller model to run the LLM. So I'm using like a 1.7 or a 4 billion parameter Quen 3 model to predict tokens for Quen 3 coder max using 80 gigabytes of memory. So it uses like a smaller context window. And let's see, what is it? Speculative decoding. That's what it is. I'm sorry. Way off, huh? So speculative decoding is what's up, because I'm only using like 15 gigs of VRAM on my 3090. You still want a 3090 because the memory is really fast, but they're going up in price. Oh, I'm selling all my stuff to get another 3090, but unfortunately, it is not coming out. So what am I doing? This is for a nonprofit. So you'll like this prompt. I think this is one of the coolest things that I've done. Hold on. Actually, yeah, definitely one of the coolest things, but certifiably my lawsuit that's in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals right now that is about to ban state use of preponderance of evidence to take our rights, or certain rights, under the Ninth Amendment. That or any other amendment, and reforming fictional 11th Amendment qualified immunity, which people just refer to as qualified immunity. Qualified immunity isn't bad, but it has to be like conditional qualified immunity and not making up some bullshit about the 11th Amendment saying they can't sue a state in federal court that they live in, because those courts have been saying you can't sue a state that you live in federal court, because you can't sue a state that you don't live in, because they don't want people from out of state suing a state in federal court for because they disagree with whatever. You have to go to their courts that they elected, and then they deal with that. So some federal judges said you're not treating people equally, but that's a load of crap, because and then they said that the 11th Amendment also bars in-state people from suing their own state. And then we've had this problem where the states are violating people's rights. Then you can't stop it, because you got to go to state court and then roll the dice on whether or not you're going to be able to go up to the Supreme Court, which costs a whole lot of money, which deprives us of our due process rights. So that's just what I'm famous for, which I give the glory to God, because that's pretty cool. But let's read this prompt. Telling Quen3 Coder next to build the Hopping House web app in Python, Flask, Clerk Auth with FreeCAD, Python integration, and Postgres vanilla SQL. Hopping House designs source available 3D printed rabbit and small animal houses that you can download for free for non-commercial purposes on our website with a print on demand and print for charity service. The front end is Jinja and Vanilla.js. Users can log in with Google, Facebook, Instagram, X, and Google. The web app has a network of 3D printers. Did I say GitHub? Oh, I left out GitHub. Right, Google's on there twice. Damn it. Oops. The web app has a network of 3D printers where users can sign up to register their 3D printer to print or 3D printed models for people in their local area. People can pick up in person, either for profit or for charity for animals in need. Our web app has a sign up page to be in our 3D printer network, where the users enter their name, zip code, and 3D printer type. Each 3D printer then gets its own work queue of files it's printing, and the printer can only print one model at a time, so we keep track of the current model that is being printed. Our web app has a CMS, for making Markdown tutorials that teach users how to 3D print rabbit houses, colonies, bathrooms, gravity water bowls, easy to open doors, and playpens using cheap coops and playpens ordered from Amazon. Each tutorial contains Amazon affiliate links where you can buy the coops and playpens. The web app has an admin panel that allows you to swap out the Amazon affiliate links. Each tutorial has a carousel of images for that tutorial at the top, and you can scroll down. The CSS animation makes the carousel collapse. As you scroll down, the CSS animation makes the carousel collapse. Oops. But as you scroll down, repeated here. And and the carousel moves off the top of the screen, and then it expands to original when you scroll back up, and the carousel is visible. Boy, that's just not worded very well. Huh? The same images that are in the carousel will then appear in the tutorial in the same order they appear in the markdown. So no images will be uploaded with the, sorry. So no, the images will be uploaded with the markdown widget using a storage bucket. Damn, I did not proofread this very well. Sorry. Customers can add multiple 3D models to their shopping cart and select either download, print on demand, or print for charity options for each individual item. If a user selects print on demand, the web app searches for available 3D printers in a variety of variable distance away from the area code or city. Our default print on demand service is Slant 3D. We cannot count on someone in their local area having signed up on site launch, so Slant 3D option is always available. If a user selects print for charity, they are taken to a sign up page where they apply for a low or no cost animal house for an animal in need. The page has an image upload for a picture of the animal in need and a form for the names, descriptions, and needs of the animal in need. The website is not focused on sales. Our focus is on helping animals, and it doesn't look like an online store, but instead educational and charity focused. The homepage is designed to show who we are, what we do, and that we do this to help animals and provide jobs in your local area 3D printing, and then showcase our best 3D models and tutorials. The website has a page with a list of affordable 3D printers sorted by print volume with Amazon affiliate links where you can buy the printer on Amazon. Our web app has a page where you can donate 3D printer filament for charity prints. The page has a list of customer requests for charity prints and for an animal in need with a picture of the animal and the description of the needs. All right. So then, boy, I probably need to like update my open code version because the tool calling is just, it just sucks. It's not working right. I mean, but we'll see. I think after this thing finishes, I'll try that out. So here we're doing everything vanilla. Oh God, I haven't done that in a while. I mean, I thought about doing an ORM, but um, it doesn't save you that much time. It just doesn't. You really want to save time, man. Plan it ahead of time. This seems to be just some basic boilerplate and some relations. Total image. Did it write all the markdown code or something? I don't know. Oh yeah, because I told it to upload the images to a storage bucket. Right. I don't know about this, dude. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Doesn't seem like I want to use a database for that, to be honest. I mean, um, I would want to use a CDN. So how would that work? You upload it to a storage bucket on the server, and then that storage bucket could be anything. But yeah, I don't think I was explicit enough exactly how I want that to work out. So what we got for the printer? At the name, manufacturer, model, printer type. Now we need a build volume. Do we need a to-do list? Maybe I could get a to-do list going. Oh shoot. Wait, what startup am I working on? That's a strange feeling. Like, wow, I have too many businesses. All right, here's the code. The schema. Whee! Tutorial images. All right. I mean, if you're not like if you're using agentic engineering, do you really need an ORM? I personally enjoy building my database schema with the GUI. I think it's great. Like AppWrite, that one's pretty cool. That one's like MariaDB, which is an SQL variant. Sorry, a MySQL variant, and with a Redis integration. So my database software, Subsecond database, is like AppWrite, only more sophisticated and less bloated. Unfortunately, that means a lot of other people are also too going to be playing the same game that I'm playing. Wait, where is it? You know what that? Oh, my thing's gone. Where's my ticker? Oh, hey, at least I'm in an okay place on the screen. I'll just go without it. I usually got a Pomodoro timer, but so what was I adding the to-do list? Got the wrong screen over here. What do we need on the thing? So what was that? Um, damn it, son of a bee. Forgot what the hell I was just about to do. We were looking at what? The huh? God damn it. Well, at least I got a to-do list. Maybe I'll remember what it was here in a little bit. Tutorial. Uh, well, here's one thing that I need to do, which is to make it ready to go. I like the filament donation page idea because, like, if we could get people to like donate filament and then I get an Amazon affiliate link, I mean, maybe this could work out financially. That'd be great. Maybe with the AI, maybe we could like do more charity vibe coding stuff because I think personally this could work out. I think people they want to see people like me building stuff like this. Now it can be boring, but we get more AI generated code. You know, it's not going to be me like pounding out code line by line, having to debug stuff that takes forever. And like most people are like, after 15 seconds, are like, I'm out. But I mean, to those people, I mean, I don't think they're going to be doing very well in the future economy either. But maybe they might be. It might be like an idiocracy thing where like those people are rising up to the top. I think it's the people who have the networks of people are generally going to be the ones rising up to the top. Boy, there's a lot of this. I mean, we could just spray and pray, I guess, right? Is this done? All files are ready for the oh yeah, let's ask it please add GitHub clerk OAuth login. Hopefully, oh, is it responding quickly? So I'm doing shit speculative decoding, right? Um, with the smaller LLM. So I'm using like maybe 14 gigs. I saw 13.5 gigs of VRAM being used on my 3090, which has very fast RAM, meaning it's still worth it to get it. But you know, you can do a lot more with 16 gigs of VRAM if you have enough CPU RAM. I have decently fast RAM, but it's still not that fast. You need a dual CPU Xeon with like 12 to 16 memory channels on it. And then they all add up in speed. And then it's like, you know, Mac Studio M3 Ultra. But I still think the Mac Studio M3 Ultra is still going to be better. But I can't just like buy a motherboard and keep sticking RAM sticks into that like I can with the dual Xeon or the I use the Xeon or Gold 6230, which are like 35 bucks on eBay or something crazy cheap. The freak cheap CPU, and then the RAM's still too expensive. Man, I think the I think it's definitely 100% historical fact that the RAM cartel, Hynix and Samsung, have been fined by Congress for and courts for monopoly behavior. They do exist as a RAM cartel, and I no longer think that Micron is guilty of what they did. So they rug pulled us by no longer producing RAM for the consumer market. So now RAM has skyrocketed in price. But the real reason for this actually predates this crisis. And like it goes back many decades. In fact, the major RAM producers, they conspired together to drop the price of the chips so low that other players cannot enter the market. They're like a monopoly. And so, but they exist outside of the US. Our only tool that we can actually use to regulate them are tariffs. So we have not been doing the tariffs because then we can't get the cheap RAM. So we chose to if it was not so critical, we would have broken up their monopoly a long time ago. But these chips, it's not like Joe Schmo can go start a chip fab making DDR5 memory, right? And you know, DDR4 production slowed down, but I don't think it should be. I think there's still huge demand for it, especially like large capacity sticks for cheap, like you know, 64 gig sticks, 32 gig. Um, but the Micron, they weren't making that much money in that business, so they moved over to making the memory for the AI chips. But I don't think so. It doesn't appear like it's actually Micron's fault. It does appear like it's Samsung and SK Hynix's fault. They're they're the ones who are working internationally to rig the RAM prices so that other competitors cannot enter the market. But yeah, I don't know, man. I want to sue somebody over the prices of that RAM, dude. Every time I go shopping for RAM, dude, like my face just gets red and I uh want to strangle somebody. Especially because I'm trying to buy 12 sticks of RAM, and each one of those sticks is like now it's like $100 or more used. And there's all these Joe Schmoes have no clue what the hell that they're doing. They just want to jump in and buy something, and then they're just buying up stuff, putting it in some system like they don't know what the hell the speed is. They just grab a system and then throw RAM in it. And then it turns out you need specific systems, you need specific hardware combinations, you need at least this much VRAM that's at least this fast. And then they waste their money, and then now they're camping on this computer now that has way too much RAM. They have zero need for this RAM, and so now they're hoarding, and they're not even going to get rid of it because they just spent so much money, or they got it for cheap. But maybe they might try to scalp it, but it's still like I'm trying to sell some RAM, DDR4, 3200, 64 GB laptop RAM. And I'm trying to get a decent amount for it because the RAM I need to get is more money than that. So even if I sell it, then I would get more. So I'm not like trying to scalp it for too much, but I'm like over. I'm sure I got my price at like what 320 before fees minus shipping, or sorry, plus shipping. And it's been weeks. Nobody's bought it. So I think that, even though the RAM prices are high, people just aren't buying. And well, I think that's the whole reason why the prices are high. In particular, is because they don't have enough supply. Because of that, there's nothing to buy anyways. So it has to be dramatically higher price. But that is causing a cascading effect in the industry where a lot of people are going out of business because they were reliant on the cheap RAM and being able to sell the product for a price that people can afford on their wages that they get because, just because you increase the prices doesn't magically mean people's wages increase. But a lot of people are on fixed incomes. The amount of children's going down. So there's less people buying stuff. So maybe we've seen peak technology. Like that was it. We're gone. I don't know. We got the X-ray chips coming out pretty soon. They're gonna be like as small as you could physically possibly make a chip, and they make them one shot too, not this like crazy complicated extreme UV lithography. Because that one's crazy, dude. Because the problem with the extreme UV lithography is that the wavelength, like with the slits, in order to make the transistors the size they want, they can't just like shine the light because of the slit diffraction problem. So what they have to do is they use like some machine learning to like figure out like a bunch of different masks where they could print the thing just a little bit at a time, which is crazy. If you ask me, like the level of complicated that you got to do to be able to calculate what the diffusion pattern is going to be which I can do personally, kind of. Don't count on it, but you know, I have like, you know, you know, like I know some things about radio waves, whatnot, but yeah, the level of complicated that is like that's really hard. But the X-ray lithography. Okay, so wait, hold on. Let me explain why the extreme UV lithography stuff is cool. So they got like these drops of tin, and they drop this drop of tin, and they hit it with a laser, and then it flattens it with like a pancake, and then they hit it multiple times, and then the thing vaporizes and emits a bunch of UV light, like it's a sun. But the new one, the X-ray lithography, that one uses a little mini particle accelerator, you know, that can fit in the back of a truck, and you know it creates X-rays by slamming particles into each other, and so that can, you know, that makes it so they could just use one mask and just print the whole thing at the same time, which is, you got to admit, that's pretty badass. You know, I got a little CERN collider fitting in the back of a truck, making the smallest possible transistors. Like it's N tier. It does not get any better than that, and it's out currently. They're making chips with it right now, gearing up. Shishun. So hopefully we'll be getting more cheap RAM here pretty soon. But now I'm having to like give up on my camera upgrades and in order to sell all my gear to now buy RAM for some old computer that's not even going to be around for super, or not even going to be competitive in another couple of years. Like if I had bought some camera gear that might last me a very long time. Also, that OpenAI can corner the market by making RAM so expensive by buying up all the RAM that now we're forced to then buy their LLM service so that we can then compete in the, just even to have like food on the table. And I don't like that. I personally think that that's like Orwellian. That's like not something that I would be proud to be associated with as an AI engineer. And maybe they need to get sued. So, what else can we do with this? I don't really want to vibe code this too much. Let's just exit out of this. So that's just oops. What did we look at the code? What did it make for us? I'm very interested in seeing one like SQL alchemy. Hey, that's cool. Maybe I'll take that. All right. Hey, this is cool though. I don't know if there's any others that I need. I don't really want to do any others, especially if it's European or Asian. No thanks. Unless it's Taiwanese, of course. Crucial. We got some 3D printers set up. Can we run it? What do we have to do? We got let's see what we got. Python dash version, right? Okay, so we're Python 3.13.11. Here, let me I'll be All right, so the other thing I got to do at some point in time is I need to set this guy up, this um, Orange Pi 4 Pro with a 256 gig NVMe underneath it. I'm 3D printing up the Raspberry Claw 10-inch mini rack Pi cluster case, but I'm not sure how competitive that's going to be. I mean, it's an experiment. I don't really want to put too much money into the Pi cluster. I got 3 in there, and it's not as good of a return as having like a proper dual Xeon or Epic server. All right, so what about the get the README? Network registration for print on demand. Hopping dash house, get out of here. Oh, hopping house, hopping house. I don't know about net. If I want to use that. All right. I wish I had music. I think I could play music via the YouTube thing, but it's going to cause problems with my mic. I don't have it really set up. I'm sorry. So this is the installation. We just run this. I'm just going to do no things. Hopping house. Yeah, scripts activate. Let's try this. Let's see if this will work. Oops. Hmm? Oh, well, I have to come back to that. Let's look at the what did it do with the So this is the storage bucket. You got some, what is it, ginger? Got some basic ginger templating. Pretty easy to learn ginger. I haven't seen it in decades, but I could definitely, I wouldn't have any problem editing this thing. Model list. Oh yeah. Detail. What is that? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to keep an eye on the thing. Nobody, somebody viewed. Yeah, that's cool. But I guess I need to do more of the thumbnails with the code browser in the background. I don't know. I've been doing like AI generated thumbnail backgrounds. I haven't really had too much luck with them. I think when they see your thumbnail, if you have some code in the thumbnail, I think it works better because people are going to see something that they recognize. It's like either they're going to like you or they're not going to like you. And if they're like, oh, who's this guy? I like the code. What is this? You know, you immediately draw on their curiosity. What is this code? So, but then the problem is then you have to like have a different thumbnail, and it's like takes all this work, and you know, it's like really disheartening when you put a lot of work into a live stream and then you don't get a lot of views. I mean, I stopped caring because it's not that I'm not a good programmer, it's that like I've got some issues and the shit is like I keep adding shit on and stuff never gets done. But my C++ API is pretty cool. My Crab C++ API, the Chinese room abstract stack machine, that thing's pretty cool. We're gonna see it with the CrabsClaw coming up pretty soon, which I want to get on top of, but then I need to not get lost in this. I'm just looking at it because it's a curiosity. So you should never be too afraid that you can't do a JavaScript carousel because it's just like it's the most basic project that you could do. It's like I avoided JavaScript for a long time because I thought for some reason that was like I couldn't do that. Not even that difficult, dude. I mean, you search for document elements, dude. And then you style them and use some CSS animations. And it looks so good because the way that they make it makes it so easy to do that. All right, so I think I'm mostly done with this, but here's some got Clerk Python integration for our user management. Get our OAuth working out the box. So I'm gonna put on the to-do list for here for the Hopping House Network. I'm gonna put that to be at. Oh, we got that one done. Pile web app and test. Then uh, mark images for MVP. All right. We got two things. Shouldn't I have three things? You think you're supposed to put three things on the list? Do we need a profile editor? Add profile editor with I'm gonna add a wait, hold on. So what do we want people in the hopping? We. Who's this we? What does Dictator Kale want to happen in the Hopping House community? Where I am the tyrannical dictator. Ha ha ha. You have to do everything I say. Or the bunny summer. I do. What's the agents? The MD thing? Where's the agents? Huh? I don't see an agents.md. I'm confused. All right, well, I think that's it. Got a lot of 3D models I got to work on too. So I'm going to move on to what? Crabs? Wait, hold on. Let's move over to the VNC remote desktop. Let me make sure I'm not having IPs visible. So what did we get? Let's see what kind of treasure we got coming out of here. Okay, that one's got to get updated. Now there's what's this? Crabs now. So this ended up getting inserted. So 30, that obviously is not that. Where's the release scene? Did not put the release scene. That's just for the AI. Okay. So now we're gonna call this one 26 and that's the 20. We gotta go through here. I mean, it's my test system's a little bit clunky, but I do like it. Wait, where's the config scene? Hold on, I just moved. Oh, is that it? Okay. Test analog. Alrighty then. So this I'm not too happy about. So it's like definitely needs to go onto the list of things. Let's go look at the CrabsClaw issue. Oh, what happened? Oh, this is the VNC. I'm not used to the VNC. All right. Where does it say something about a file? What? Yeah, I'm gonna have to admit my system is not very uh contributor friendly. I mean, it works for whatever I'm doing, but there's a lot of like distractions and just things that you just don't care about that make it hard for people to understand my system. So, fix file. Wait. Man, wish my so that doesn't make sense. I gotta get rid of this stuff. So it's supposed to be files affected, yes. Do I want to hire? This stuff can pollute. Back in the day, this made more sense, but today, like, we have to get rid of everything that's not nailed down. So what I need now, I've been overwhelmed doing too many different things. And so my documentation for the A Startup Cookbook on GitHub is just not there. But I think we can just change it all to do the vibe coding. So we're going to do the A Startup Cookbook is now going to be a vibe coding, a startup cookbook using Jekyll Markdown and latex and whatever else stuff we want to use. Except for any illegal drugs. Not allowed to put those in there, okay? Right? Oh yeah. So what do we do? Files affected. Yeah, this stuff just confuses the LLM if it doesn't have a good purpose. So um it's best to work with the um to give it the list of files because what? It's just all you gotta do. Um what do we need this scene? Where's the file? Over here. Oh, I don't have a way to just quickly bring up the VNC. I gotta manually select it. Whatever. Maybe someday I'll get a Stream Deck. But until now, I can always justify programming my own Stream Deck in order to save just a little bit more money for some other kind of gear. Yep, and I just suffer. So file, it's currently 17. The views only got one. That sucks, but not like I'm not used to it. I'm not that popular. I'm an older white dude, so you got to bring it. You know, you just can't just expect to like just people to like you. You got to bring the content, and I'm trying to build the thing to make the better content, but it takes a while. I'm not gonna be upset. There's nobody watching. I'm not here for you to watch me. I'm just here to build, dude. But maybe, yeah, maybe I need to get some ice plunges going with push-ups. Yeah. Whoop, whoop. Maybe get some Jesus in the house. People love that. Yep. Okay. So what's the other one that we're gonna do? Oh yeah, the no, scene /17 that file. I don't like this particular thing, having to do that. But it's difficult to see. You can see the problem. It's like, this is nice to have the test organized, so I can like look at everything. And is there anything running? Anything? What do we got? Oh, this is running on the desktop. Huh? All right. Can we give it a prompt? Wait, what am I doing? So it might be better for you to, instead of giving it like typing in your prompt into OpenCode, if instead you typed your prompt into GitHub instead with this format. We got a problem solution statement. We got files affected. Um, and then what do we need to do? Steps. I don't know if you need to import the context in any particular order. I don't particularly want to have that below the steps. So I'm going to do 3 steps. So step 1 is to let's look at the code because I can't really, I'm drawing a blank here. It's a little bit sluggish to do that, but not too bad. Or sorry, the Raspberry Pi 4 is being a little bit sluggish. VS Code's using up the RAM. It's gobbling it up. Yeah, I do kind of want to get a different mini PC. The Pi cluster, like I was originally like really excited about it, but it's lacking the power that I need. I mean, this is a Pi 4, and then hopefully this Orange Pi 4 Pro is going to be better, but it's still not. It's like an 8 core with 2 fast cores and then 6 of the slow small cores. Don't have the ones that don't have the out of order execution. They're like teeny tiny. I like those, but yeah, right away I'm like, okay, I wish I had like, a quad core 11th gen i5 with Thunderbolt for sure. Why would I need Thunderbolt? To add an eGPU. That doesn't really make sense. You might want Thunderbolt. It doesn't make sense for my studio. But the Thunderbolt 3 eGPU enclosures are still a pretty good deal. You might want to spring the extra money for the Thunderbolt 5. Which one is it? Razer Core X V2. That one comes with a power supply. I'm not sure if it does a 5090. I wish I could afford a 5090. I still think it's one of the best investments, even at like $5,000. But I don't have $5,000. It's just so fast, but I don't know. I'm having some issues with this speculative decoding with the Elm Studio. It runs fast when it runs, but then sometimes it takes like 4.5 minutes to do a prompt. So the test, I don't know if I really want. Wait, hold on. There's only one param in here. What is this? Test K. Boy, that's confusing people. Well, it used to be like that. And why am I doing that? Because this is from the operating system. So you notice, I just deleted this stuff and it was like, here's the beginning of the socket and the end of the socket. So I used to have these values in here, but it's like it's guaranteed by the operating system. So I determined it was like outside of the scope of what I was doing. But I don't know, I might just go back to having an end. I mean, I think most people would say that, yeah, that this probably should have an end. But, it's extra work. Does it matter? It is guaranteed by the operating system. I think a lot of people would say still, maybe that's like, maybe you shouldn't do that. And I think maybe if they're saying that, then it probably should fix that. I'm going to put it up on the two. Wait, I want to just like beginning. That doesn't make any sense. Args and end. It's just about freaking confusing. Huh. Van line argument from the OS. Okay. Argument. Wow, that makes a hell of a lot more sense. So what do we got over here? They're just basic unit test commands. Um, is there anything in here about Markdown now? I told it to make a Markdown parser. No. Okay, so yeah, I need a Markdown engine inside of this thing. I mean, I have all the tools to put together that like reasonably quick, but it's like it's just been like, a lot of problems to get everything together. So what I'm wanting to do is like copy and paste code back and forth because I don't really want this thing to have access to my GitHub because it's a bot. I don't really trust it. I do have uh, a GitHub account set up for it for the Zero Claw bot and a Discord server. So, whoa, I'll be right back. Right, all right, all right, all right. What happened to my Pomodoro timer? What am I looking at? It's so sluggish to use this. I guess maybe I do need a faster internet connection to these Pis. I do have a power over Ethernet switch for these claws. Zero claw cluster Raspberry Pi clones. The Orange Pi 4 Pro has power over Ethernet, so I don't need an extra power cable. But it also complicates things, kind of. You know, you got to get the PoE switch. I had one, but then you got to learn how to do the VLAN. I don't quite have all that set up yet. So what did it do? Where's the agent? It didn't do anything. This is a tool. It doesn't even like. I want my money back. Do it. Is this I think we can add edit to this API. So the rule for this API is we are the Chinese room. And that means, Chinese room is an AI thought experiment from John Searle from like a long time ago that theorizes about a room made from a guy doing pen and paper computer inside the thing. Like there's doing all of the LLM on pen and paper using some sort of like magical filing cabinet. And the idea is you pass a slot, messages through a slot in the door. And then the guy is like Chat GPT with pen and paper. And then it works like an AI super. You speed it up really fast, then it works just like an AI supercomputer. So the question is, at what point is it conscious? Like whenever you make like a network of these Chinese rooms, and then like you can put it like a whole office full of them, and then you got networks of buildings full of Chinese rooms, and then you could stick these networks on top of a robot, and so what point in time is it like a human? So one of the noteworthy things is the room stores works as a memory storage device, and also a room is so easy for people to grasp what you're supposed to do in the room. So I chose that interface because um, I just thought it was classy, and I thought it'd be easy to control the AI using like objects in a room, utilizing these objects as like a memory storage device. So, what is a tool? It's supposed to be like a tool color thing. Well, it didn't do shit. What was this? GLM 4.7 Flash? Right. No, that was it was the, what do you call it? The desktop. So a file. What is a file supposed to look like? What is this supposed to look like when we so a file? A file. Is there an A file? I'm not sure there is an A file. Uh-oh. What's in here? Whoa. This isn't supposed to be like this. How'd that happen? What's the seam right now? Oh shoot, wait, hold on. I'm not supposed to do too much in here. Am I? Okay, well, I'm frankly just disappointed with what it did there. Let's see. What did it do with CrabsClaw though? Session. Kind of feel like tool calling should be part of Crabs, not CrabsClaw. So dictionary. Okay, kind of feel embarrassed. Where's the dictionary? What's this? Crabs test. I have no idea what that is, but I don't want it. Wait. Looking for. Why is the C event? What is a claw event like? This is an agent event like. don't like all this lowercase formatting. And my OCD gets triggered by that shit, dude. I need a script that like automatically renames this stuff. I don't care if I'm wasting time. My OCD is way too triggered, bro. I can't do that. Yeah, judge me if you want, dude. What's this? Life pattern? I'm sorry, I feel like an idiot. What's a life pattern? I should know this. There's a life pattern? Oh, no, it's IIFE, not life. It's immediately invoked function expression. What is immediately invoked? What does this mean? Um, yeah, which doesn't take any extra time to load. Should. I think they programmed it wrong. Wait, hold on. I'm not paying attention. So what it like, just makes it so it doesn't run out of order. Okay. Well, that's pretty easy. Oh wait, I've seen this and I just like blindly just inserted it, not knowing what the hell I was doing. A whole bunch of times, actually, now that I look at this, I'm like, oh wait, I've seen this before. Why did you do that? In fact, I might have even removed some of these accidentally. I feel like an idiot. I didn't even know that. No, I don't have to know everything, dude. I know it's like the problem that people have with like programming and technology is they think they have to know everything all at one time. But like it's a fire hose and it's like you're learning it's like with technology it's like you're learning to take just like a little as much water out of the fire hose as you need to get the job done. It's like the job is like I'm filling something up with water and putting out fires. So like, if I could just take like a spoon into the fire hose of information and then reflect that water over to the place where I want to use the thing, then uh it's gonna be a lot better. Oh, I had somebody. It's okay. What is lazy? Okay, so I mean, I really should have this in script too. Really. See time result. Why is it doing this? All right, so maybe while I'm thinking about it, I should add this to the agents.md file that general philosophy. Which one is it? Capital or capital? Oh no. You put a gun to my head, I'd probably have to say it's capital. So that means I could do C. I've been just doing C const expert prefix, even if it's like a template, because I don't find that that overload set is a problem for me, but it might actually be in the future. Hmm. What is this defer thing? I don't know. Why isn't it like that? Resource acquisition is initialization. Seems like it should be that with the lowercase I there. So what does this defer? What is it like? Deferring initializing the resource until the memory is good to go? Function callback. What are we doing with the callback? Okay. Maybe I should try my other camera angle. Oh wait, LM. No, no. There we go. I don't see any code that's supposed to go with that though. Might have gotten confused with my instructions to put the CPP code in the CXX file or the HXX files. And I don't, or maybe it crashed halfway through because I was having power issues with the not having a full 3 amps, 5 volts for the Raspberry Pi 4. It was just resetting out of the blue. So, what is. I wonder if I could just boost this. Um, what does this do? Okay, I didn't know that you could do that. Well, this certainly changes my trajectory of where I was gonna go with this cluster swarm. Maybe I should just focus on open code integration. All right, I'm probably gonna do that. I mean, I might. I mean, one thing I could do is just integrate my script2 contiguous data types into open code. Where's the oops. Oh, I'm not doing too well here, huh? Sorry. Sorry, I'm having some camera issues here. Uh, oh, I'll be right back here. I'm gonna try to fix. All right, so let's do the okay. So oh yeah, I forgot. It's the stupid Cam Link 4K. All right, there's not much I can do. I guess we'll just be stuck with the this camera. Spent all the money on the extra cameras. I can't even use them. Stupid laptop. Well, I mean, I'm running the LLM on my desktop. So, I mean, it's my own fault. I did it. All right. So, what's going on with this, though? Is there anything I can push the ball forward with? I don't think it converted the. Nix OS. Is that in open code? Oh, wait. What was I saying? Go to the prospects? Skills. Do we have skills? Search. No results found. Above these nuts. Nothing wrong. Session. What is the agent? So which agent? I'm sorry. So the agent, I think you set up with like an API key. And then one agent should have one LLM. So what about build plan? What's plan? All right. I need to set up some open code agents. How do I do that effectively? Is it going to take 4.5 minutes? I mean, I could just do this, but I still kind of want to look at the code. It might take 4.5 minutes for that thing to get the stupid LLM to work. I'm using that speculative decoding, and it's a lot faster, but it's not working very good for me. Like, it's got fast tokens when it works, but then it takes a long time. The first token, it just ruins any sort of benefit that I get from it. Which is sad. What are you gonna do though? So, so what's the real difference between OpenClaw and OpenCode? Problem with the claws are it's like a lot harder to observe into the system. We need to be able to observe more into it. Fire and forget autonomous. I'm still trying to figure out how the hell I'm supposed to do these agents at scale. I've been watching the Bridge Mine live stream, and I think that he's got some good ideas. I mean, dude's obviously not a programmer. Well, hold on. Yeah, he's not a programmer, dude. But I mean, I'm not. People can learn pretty quick when they got a business, so I'm not gonna say that's gonna like make me like think too much differently of them. But it is a little bit disheartening to see my job that I paid so much money to be able to work in the industry just get overrun by AI. But I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. It's too early to tell. Might be the best thing ever. So just build, just try to enjoy life. If you're not enjoying life, what are you doing? Stupid. Gosh darn diddly doohickey. Yeah, I need an app to do what I want to do. Really, with this vibe coding thing. Still going, huh? Jeez. Yeah, this one's much more responsive than the VNC remote desktop on the Pi 4. Maybe the Pi 4 just isn't cutting it. I hope the Orange Pi 4 Pro is going to be the ticket, but I don't have that configured yet, and I feel like I'm ready to try to get the live coding thing back up and running. It used to be more of a regular thing, but it's been a while, and oh, still not done yet. What the So yeah, I gotta keep doing the normal programming. I can't just vibe code, dude. I think that people who are just vibe coding, I think they're gonna get left out. I think they're gonna find that there's a lot of computer science involved that they don't know about, and that they can't really proceed without hiring a bunch of consultants, and then the consultants don't really want to work for them. They might. We'll see. I don't want to say how it's gonna pan out. It probably won't pan out the way I say it's gonna pan out. So let us look at the work to do then. I'm just gonna not focus too much on that, but this is working now. I don't know exactly what's going there. I do kind of feel like maybe my brain has been one-shotted. Just like I haven't even done any vibe coding and already like my brain's shutting off. Like, oh, nope, don't got to program anymore. That's it. I'm done. Stick a fork in me. Why is there no code in here? Hmm. Boy, I forgot what I was even doing. Aren't I doing something hard? It's the scene. Sorry, I feel like kind of a bozo right now. This is my API. I wrote the entire thing from scratch, but it's like, um, been a while, and I don't really know where to start right now. But yeah, never really stopped me before. So I'm so sorry. Where the hell is it? Big right. Some dictionary matrix. Oh, ouch, ouch. I don't really necessarily want to work on this. I'm not necessarily opposed to working on this because it is something that like kneecaps me. The the matrix class because we need to use it for my random number generator. Doing the CPU based neural network. Okay. So I guess this is where I'm like, I'm planning what the hell I'm doing. So let's think about this. So we got the dictionaries working. I see the thing is I don't really need the matrix or the random number generator right now. Do I need it before the file? I don't need it until the AI. The random number generator I got is a hootenanny. It's like an LSTM based neural network that utilizes a CPU based random number generator where I'm calculating e to the x using Newton's method, and then I take the um after each time I do a division, I XOR a running XOR. Excuse me, I'm really sick right now. Hmm. So the LSTM long term, short term neural network is then going to pick up um, look for if it's got a normal distribution, and then it like trains the neural network, and then while it's training, it generates a whole bunch of random numbers. Very interesting design. I was doing the low rank recurrent convolutional random number generator at first, but that design's a total bozo. Well, I mean, I wasn't, banking on it. Like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm like, oh shit, I don't have enough skills. I'm gonna do this, and then I got some skills from doing it. Okay, hey, this thing's done. What did it do? Wait, wasn't this the hopping house? Open code, Flask. Oh, this is the no shit. Sorry. Oh, right, because I asked it to do something. Start up again. Never mind. I don't really want to look at the bridge. I don't even look at that right now. Sub agent. I don't know if I would call it a sub agent. I would just call it an agent. Um, is this the one that I prompt to, and then the LLM is taking a while to respond? This may be like the different. This doesn't look like it's doing anything right now. So I guess I need a better plan of action. I need to use the plan mode because one-shotting this thing is just like that would be just ridiculous. It's it, even with a super human AI, it's like you're working with the world's most perfect developer and you're a client. You're like, hey, build me this app. And then you don't give them the proper requirements for the app. They're still not going to give you good code. So let's give this thing a prompt. Oh, dude. I want to keep using it. Keep growing it. My goal is to like vibe code this thing and like not even touch GitHub and then copy stuff over to the original GitHub and then copy the files manually back and forth for right now because I've been doing all this stuff by hand, so um I'm not really trying to let a AI bot take over and destroy all of my code, pollute my GitHub with a bunch of shit. I'm just a little bit overwhelmed, like where to start though. Because I thought it was supposed to. See, I think it started like writing these header files, and then it didn't really like do a whole lot inside of it. And then I started adding in I downloaded the open code files into the Crabs new folder. And then I got Crabs code in here, Nanobot, which is like a Python, 4,000 lines of Python version of OpenClaw. I'm I'm just not really 100% sure that I would want to clone OpenCode though, because it has the terminal UI in it. And like even if I was trying to make that, it's like it's just it's like trying to build a house by like putting the shingles and the siding on the house first instead of building a proper foundation on the house. Like you can that would just be you'd have to put up all these little things to hold it up, and maybe if you got some really good design, maybe that might work. But in general, you want to make a really good foundation for a house and then quickly put on the exterior walls at the end so that you can remove them and replace them with whatever. But the problem is I'm going to need to open up files, and I'm also still a little bit hesitant to work on the matrix. I mean, I could try to one-shot the matrix class. I'm not opposed to it. Um, Here, let's see if we can. Uh, I mean, it's kind of close to working, but it just like took a little bit of confusion. Um, Problem is this isn't necessarily exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. It could be considered part of this milestone though, to close it out, because I still haven't even closed out milestone 2. I'm having problems. Maybe I'm like beyond that. Maybe I could just oops. Oh shit, that's not the thing. Shit. All right, here we'll just oops. Wonder what okay, think about this. Oh no. What happened here? This is the matrix scene. Oh, whoa, what a headache. Math core, huh? Oh shoot. Right. Okay, so wasn't I gonna add some math core to here because I'm doing this because I'm doing the manual. I'm not a math library, but what we're gonna do is add these functions we need for calculating e to the x. I wouldn't mind seeing what it would do if I just told it to one shot the e to the x in here. Um, Here's the problem. This is throwing a wrench in everything that I need to do to actually finish up this. So I'm going to kick the can. Let's rearrange these seams so that I don't have to do this because I want to do this, but it's just not. Rearrange the seams to for a pet project, and then am not doing the pet project. So this needs to come in after we have the. I need to focus exclusively on getting the Chinese room together because all of this other stuff is just an absolute confusion. So RNG, Math Core, Dictionary. Yeah, because this crabs in this room don't really rely on any of that other stuff. So let's just swap this over to 20, 19, 29. Yes. We'll just identify as 19. So Joe King over here. All right, so the crabs op. We don't need anything related to a math algorithm up into here. So, which means that I should probably move this. What? Yeah, this is a sore spot. I need to finish that floating point to string algorithm, but somebody beat me to it. And then my integer string algorithm like optimizes most floating point number algorithms. So I just kind of gave up on it because stuff bullshit from my lawsuit. It's just fucking shit I don't even want to fucking talk about. But it's very interesting. So what is it? I need it in here and we'll move it back. Because it's annoying. They don't really like one of my biggest gripes about Visual Studio. Shouldn't be like that. So RNG matrix is supposed to be before file because we just don't use it, and then the RNG comes after the matrix because I have to have the matrix in order to do that the way that I want to do it and need to. What? What happened? 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There we go. That's it. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. It's just me. And we got the test to deal with. Some shit. Math core. Oh, yeah, there's also another math core test. RNG. Or didn't I replace the. No, I replaced the matrix with a math core. Or maybe I just call it matrix. I don't know. What? Hold on. That's supposed to do like that. Get this one too. Crabs up room. And then I need crabs release. Where's releasing? Crabs core. Hmm. That's great too. I don't know. I wish I was better at this stuff, dude. I'm struggling for sure. It's like drinking out of a fire hose. 20, 22. All right. Is that it? Damn. Hold on. Filing crabs on. Wait, isn't that after S before S grade, right? Aren't you? Wait, hold on. I'm so confused. Don't like that. What can you do? All right, I guess I could have gotten that from the order here. Dictionary crabs op room. What about crabs core? What is this one? I'm just so embarrassed about the state of this API. It could be cool, but it's just a little bit overwhelmed with all these files right now. Test, and then I think I need to pin this. There we go. That'll fix it. All right. Let's go to the dictionary. CrabsClaw, and then room. Crabs core is 21. I don't know about that. What is Crabs core again? Core. I don't really remember what Crabs core was supposed to be. So what is Crabs core? Ooh, I'd like to see that. Oh, I don't want to have to type that over and over again. All right. Thumbs up it is. Makes more sense. Matrix. Oh, crap script. Right. Gotcha. That's what that was. So this is now the core. So it used to be script. I don't know. Maybe like, I don't know which one's not supposed to be the way it is. Core is very point origin into matrix. Because it was matrix forever, and then seams, and then script. Um, uh, in crab script, maybe I just need to go back to that. Especially because I'm really confused about it. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the way it was for forever. So, crabs script. Yeah, it used to be script 2 for a long time. Well, in order for me to have a script, I need to have a file, so it has to be down here. Oops. Let's see. All right. So I want to compile something. I want something to like run. Well, I mean, this unit says ran. What was that? Just the dictionary. Not really too much to see over here. Oh no. Matrix. No thanks. Okay, so why did I rename it this? Because I was trying to combine the matrix scene with some basic like Newton's functions, Newton's algorithms for like finding e to the x mainly, and then fast inverse square root because it seems to be decent. I could change this back. Math course seems to be okay. I'm not like complaining about that. I just want to get something done. I feel like I'm a little bit bouncing around, like haven't seen it in a while. So I don't want to look like an idiot. Although it's okay. I'm not trying to impress anybody. Uh, I also don't want to talk about myself nonstop on the stream. Just here to build. YouTube can be an attention parasite. So what's the thing? What do I gotta do with op? Yeah. Well, what do we do here? What the hell happened here? Back. Okay, that's all right. Uh, be back in just a second. If I can figure out where the thing's at. There it is, it's the overlay. Starting to rain. I'm in Oregon, so it rains a lot. But the bunnies are going to need these 3D printed houses for sure. The roofs on my bunny enclosures are not good enough. So I'm 3D printing a solution. So bouncing around. I have error, right? Mm. I thought it changed the scene. Ah, this one's not supposed to be like this. It shouldn't be like this. I feel like an idiot. I really want to work on that right now. Didn't I? Oh, I didn't. I thought I rearranged these. No. Um, that would explain why I wasn't working. Hmm. Compilers now. All right. This is what I wanted to work on. Got to hammer this stuff out. I think maybe the scanner would be the easiest place. No, didn't I fix the scanner? So here's the B in and the B out. All right. What do I got to do? First, write it to a B out and then scan it with the B in. So what would look at the B in first? Excuse me. I have been pretty sick for like the past 5 days. This is the best I've felt in a long time. B out. HX6 should have this writer thing. Okay, so herein lies the problem with my architecture. I have a bunch of contiguous map types. I'm trying to scan them. And then I need to just have a basic scanner, and then all of the other data types then start to like cause problems. I put so much work into it. Like an unbelievable amount of work. Back in just a second. Uh-oh. I don't know what to think about the style anymore. Doesn't really piss me off. Not that sketchy. Would piss some people off. Some people are like gung ho, all about you better put your brackets. Don't try to save any space. I don't know about that, dude. I mean, it does take extra time to read. In trading horizontal lines for like human time, I don't know about that. Does I accidentally do something? Ah, son of a beach. The hell? Oh, okay. Um, for tests, ran. I guess that'd be pretty easy to. I was expecting myself to be this out of it. I haven't programmed in this stuff in a while, so problem is I'm not putting in enough time regularly enough. So most of the times I'm doing these live coding sessions. Recently has been just trying to get back even to where the hell I was. Like I think I've just spent the past hour just trying to figure out where the fuck I was. Now I have a little bit better view on it. Where's Crabs? So Crabs is a namespace. Uh-oh. Um, now I could just make this all Crabs test. We're having some name collisions here. Crabs doesn't work with the newly renamed namespace Crabs. Everything's all bungled up, huh? Ambiguous. I could just do a CR for Chinese room. Uh-oh. I screwed up. I didn't compile right after I did the search and replace all. Hmm. What do I have to do? Not too much because it's only in this what is it, this test thing. This is all these are gonna have to get changed. What do I change it to? Um what test? I could do a GST. Uh-oh. What am I gonna do? Oh, shoot, somebody's watching. Okay, sorry. What am I working on? I'm trying. I accidentally like did a. I was like did a find and replace all, and I accidentally like now I have a namespace collision. So I think right now I'm just gonna have to call it CR test for right now for Chinese room test, and we'll just have to like go through the specific documents that CR test seems to be fine to me. That'll fix my problem. But then I'm gonna have to go through all these stupid folders and all these guys right here. And then what do I do? I think I just got to go through all the folders and just do that one copy paste, and then I should be good to go with that. Yay! So I'm checking it out. What are you looking at? You're looking at the Chinese Room Abstract Stack Machine C++ API. And what does that do? That the Chinese Room Thought Experiment is like a AI philosophy concept of like how you make a conscious machine out of an office space with like a dude in it with a pen and paper doing manual LLM on a piece of paper. Although back when they invented it, they didn't really know what an LLM was. So uh, um, so the idea is, you could like slip these messages through the slot in the door, and the dude could do all this pen and paper math, and then you could put like networks of these rooms together, and then at what point in time does it become conscious? Like, do you have to stick it on top of a robot? Like, make like an entire world full of these rooms passing messages through the slot? So this thing is like an all contiguous memory, like a OpenClaw agent loop thing with basically you can imagine, OpenClaw with like a custom API built from the ground up that can do everything that a programming language can do. It's like a compiler engine with a um, compiler engine with a RPC engine that allows apps to talk over the internet. So this allows it to control swarms of drones with our thing. And then I need to continue to do the thing that I'm supposed to do. There's 22 of them. So this is a complete replacement for the C++ standard library. We don't we use some of their code in order to replace their code. And that is a can of worms, but we got our own version of C++, and it does it like basically it's like the best of this of C++ without any of the old legacy stuff. And adding in the OpenClaw, I think that's gonna be, sorry, the OpenClaw clone. That's gonna be, I think, the game changer for Crabs, because OpenClaw is, you know, has a claw. Crabs that has a claw, so that could work. Not too much going on in that test. A Chinese room is basically one contiguous block of memory that is like an app. If you can imagine, like the Chinese room is like let's say you made like an exe file in C++. Your Chinese room is your memory stack along with all of the memory in your heap. It's like all of it's just one block of memory that agent can see, and then we can put a whole bunch of different Chinese rooms next to each other in memory. And so like we could pack up as many agents as you possibly can into the RAM that you have without having to rely on like a Claude code terminal, which uses all kinds of resources and is very slow. It's not very fast at all. And then our random number generator is I think I was talking about it a second ago, but it's like the LSTM neural network random number generator that uses a running XOR of every single time you do a division with floating point, I XOR the mantissa bits together, and then I generate pseudo random numbers while I'm running a neural network. So that's one of the most interesting things about this API. Bar none. Is this test words? These are just like a bunch of like random words. Not enough random words, but it's okay. Now, how about that collision? Uh-oh. Test looms unidentified. Uh-oh. This isn't supposed to happen. Damn. Wish I can go back in time and undo that. Can find and replace all. 114. Crabs result. Yeah, what's up with this? And then what's that? Crabs result found. This was const op crabs op args. And this is const op crabs op args. What do I have this? Oh, the context. Right, the context. So this thing is supposed to be here. So this is one of the more interesting things about this API is we have these context types. We've got like a table of 32 POD types that we don't use all of them. We only use 24. So there's 12 left over, and then we do this interesting thing where we map. So all the data types are stored ascending, and there's like 8-bit, 16-bit, 32, 64, 128-bit types. And then the end of the context types, they go back the other way. So they go 128-bit, 64, 32, 16, and 8. And then you can remap one of the context types to one of the other POD types to create a custom type that only works within the context. And this is a new thing, part of this particular update. And so we pass in order to remap those types, we have this 64-bit integer unsigned. D means it's 64-bit. C is a 32-bit. A is 8-bit. So we take this 64-bit number and then we chop it up into like 5-bit increments, and then we store all of the remapped context types just with this one thing, so it's really fast to use. We got that one, and then the second one was this one. Are these two the same? Crabs, args, constant op. No, this one's a pointer and this one's a reference. So this one's a args. I don't think that that's actually the same one that I'm looking at. What is the next one? So I only see 3, and then there's one has a params, 2 have ops. Pointer, and then the params, and then there's a 3 crabs results here. And then is there 4 over here? There's just 3. Oh, and then this one needs to get the. Well, I guess that other one kind of went away. I don't know what I did. So did I change the ISC? Oh no, stupid. I accidentally closed it. Pin all of these. And then I think I need to. Maybe I just need to like. So op address, void pointer, pointer IUD. That's crabs core, not result. I'm so sorry. I am just being like unable to like think with things. Which one was it? IUD. In in our API, this actually works. I feel like I've got a bird brain right now, dude. This is the one. And then IUD, PC content. I just don't see how it's like not. Lead star star IUD. I'm going crazy. Why does it say that? But it is found. This one's working. I just, I bet it's not an error. I'm just gonna move on because that looks like just like look, that just. I hate it when C++ does that. It does it all the time, dude. Woo! Great. Oh god, what did I do this time, dude? I have pissed off the C++ gods. So this one goes to this. So I guess it was this one. Where's just I crawl out of my skin here. Was it the top one? I thought this one was the one that was good. Maybe that's why I'm so confused. Oh, gotcha. That would totally do it. I changed that because it was a 32-bit signed integer there for a while because it was it would be better if I could do that, but then the system didn't work out, and so now we got to go to this. DTB is data type B or a 16-bit data type. Whoa. All right. Well, maybe I'll jump off of this because they had a few views and it's dinner time. Wait, hold on. Is it? Your pizza is done. Here, let me just go see what she means by that. Apparently, she's got a text that pizza's done. All right. So what am I doing? False alarm. Or bunny chores. Oh, did it go away? Of course, it just went away. Oh no, it was the DTB. Right. Crabs query now. There we go. And then we with the query anything with a it's scanning anything is gonna have to pass along this thing. Hopefully it doesn't bloat the code. There's some design choices that I have made with this API that I'm not really the most happy about. Complexity wise. I mean I like the features and the idea, the concept, but I have not seen the execution. I might hate my monstrosity I created. As far as I know, it's like going to be working out. What do I got? Crabs, const op ID, const op reference. Something like that. I only see one of these crabs query thing. Huh? Where's the other one? Just so confused. Why isn't this next to the other one? I hate it when shit like that happens. I think I was supposed to take the other one next to the crabs result. Under that. Okay, gotcha. Boy, this needed some love. This makes me feel so good to work on this. Yeah. Yeah, let's go, baby. I have not done a live stream in a while, dude. Like months, and now I'm feeling it, dude. Let's get this shit going. I wish I had some like good techno music blast. I'll just keep some in my head. I'll just like, keep like I'm on the what's that? The under desk treadmill. just like, I don't know. Saw one YouTuber vibe coder dude selling classes on how to set up OpenClaw. That he was walking on one of those and like kind of felt like the vibe where it's like, okay, you just can't stop walking, huh? I mean, some kids are like that, like when they're like my son's like that, like he just can't sit down. He has to like keep walking, keep going, and causes problems. Unsigned. Uh-oh. 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 So we have the varants that are MSV variant encoded. So they use the most significant bit when it's asserted. That means you load another byte. But then there's different, like I have 16, 32, and 64-bit versions of that. But then there's also another way of doing it with like 16-bit nibbles too. That was legitimate too. I don't know if I want to add that. It adds a lot of complexity. But the goal of my naming convention is that whenever you're parsing the thing in a function, it's like the way that uh the codes are set up is optimal for parsing. So whatever I want it to look like is kind of secondary to whatever it has to look like in order to get the result that I want. So you got to be a little bit agnostic whenever you're doing stuff like this because it. Okay, I'm sorry. It was already fixed, and I'm continuing to fix something that's already been fixed. 101 errors. Oh God, I wish your mom would fix this for me. You're like, oh, I don't know if you knew my mom, you'd be saying that. Someday I'll start a comedy show. I tried to start a comedy show, but I don't know, man. We're too woke. I don't really see like the woke people have won. I don't think that's actually true. I see like that a lot of people are like, you flick them shit, they'll flick you back shit. And um they're also just sick and tired of hearing of everybody's shit. So I think that the woke people could chill out because, I mean, we've been using DEI Boomer Karen as our punching bag here for a while, and it's like, beating a dead horse, adding insult to injury. It's like, okay, we know DEI Boomer Karen's totally retarded and she's weak, pathetic. All right, do we really got to use her as the pinata over here to as the manifestation of our anger along with Hillary's emails, right? All right. All right. What do we do? Damn, it's just so much stuff, dude. Why am I unable to like see the problem here? Oh, because it was not a problem. Because the compiler was just being whack retarded. Telling me there was still a problem. I hate it when it does that. All right. Test loom unidentified. Shit, son. This shouldn't be happening. List. In order to do this kind of debugging, we got to back up on the scene to what did it say? List? Loom? Shouldn't be any of these. This one. Oh, so there was another one here, right? So is there still any namespace crabs? I guess I should have done this. No, none of them found, huh? I thought that would have fixed it. Okay. Wait, hold on. What is this? Right, because that's the correct. It's okay. It's like that. Crabs was the namespace. I accidentally renamed script 2 to crabs, and then we have the crabs. I forgot. So now we gotta deal with all this shit. Okay, it's running. All right. Okay, where'd my mouse go? Where'd the bee? I really don't like it when this thing like yeah, it changes the window thing. It messes my thing up. That's not too bad. I'll mess up, but all right. So what is this? Bee's knees. Trying to read the start. Oh no! God damn it! What happened, dude? That should not be happening. Problem making your own API. Fun at first, and then you gotta be debug shit like this when you want to do something else. You need money. Great. Detect that shit. Yeah, I guess I need to like save this stack as like some sort of way I could like get some debug prompts going. Okay, so T print jar. I don't like how it's blown up like this. So what is this? So read access violation. Okay. A little bit confused how this gets. Well, I must be. Hold on. Actually, this is something that I would expect to happen to a user a lot. I need a better. How do I tell the user what's going on? Because this is expected. Like you're reading past the buffer. So like what? I mean I would expect this to happen because like my something. I don't know how. I mean it's never done that before. Like for years. I mean, why is it that like it seems like 50% of the time when I come back to a project after years, like things that used to work no longer work and they're giving me strange bugs. I don't know, man. It's like I try to go do the tutorials and like almost every single time like the code has changed. It's like I have the worst luck. It's like I've been forced to be an engineer to understand all the shit because like the API changed and then like I always come in. Well, hold on. Let's say 50% of the time when I come in, the API had changed. And then the tutorial is broken at some point where it's like trips me up. Ah, tutorials can be rough. It's just better to build stuff a lot of times, but sometimes you can't get to the top of the mountain without going through tutorial. All right. Well, I really hope that this can get resolved here pretty quick. I don't this having problems at this layer of the API that I've debugged thoroughly is just never welcome. It's always like, especially when I haven't seen it in a long time, it's never welcome. I have no idea what this would be. Is this thing in me? And a very large string. Uh, well, I'm not. Yeah, this needs to have a buffer bound on it. Okay. What am I about to break? Bring it on, baby. Break that shit. Oh shit. This is really gonna make things complicated. How did I not notice that there wasn't a buffer end in there before? Ooh. Yeah, that's just not acceptable. What else is there? Wonder if there's any more bytecode prompts I can do. So I got some of that work done. All right. So let's see. What do we got? What do we got to work with? Huh? Crabs. What else do we got to work with? You know, some of this stuff I probably shouldn't. Oh, you know, we could work on iGeek, Subsecond database. Let's work on that. Subsecond DB. Oh, doesn't this have? All right. So agents. Here, let's crab. Let's grab the. Yeah, this is why I don't have any money, dude. You can see I have an explosion of projects. Subsecond DB. All right, so now let's go to crabs. Gravity seams folding. Drop it over here. Oh, isn't there like one? Oh, that one. What do we need though? Do we need the hell? Really hate it when Windows does it. Does it all the time. It's just annoying. Nothing in there. That's just embarrassing. Aren't I just using the seams in here? Yeah, why would I do something different for the like production? just going to get rid of that. It just doesn't make any sense for me to have that here. This is my release scene. We do it in the seam tree thing. Run, what the hell is this? Migrations? Oh, this is Hopping House, right? Don't start multiple businesses, kids. Just do one. Okay. So, core. Subsecond ID. Holy shit. Okay, so in order to get the subsecond ID going, I'm going to need to instantiate some in-memory data store. And I think that requires a Chinese room. So I'm not going to put too much stock that I could move into this scene. So scene one, boom. So, I mean, I usually like maybe the first one, core. Yeah. Where's the test run? Scene. Oh shit, right. So I told the LLM to do this and it knew my code from scanning GitHub. So, but it didn't do it right. Didn't do anything right. Of course. Um Shoot. We're gonna have to do. But I don't have that set up. We need the include directory. Shit, I haven't looked at a CMake file in a long time. I just run just a really basic CMake. Include a library folder. Then what am I supposed to like do everything relative? This is the question of like how am I gonna distribute my thing? So my module format's based off of embed's module format. And they use these like nested modules where they use Mercurial. I'm using Git. I don't really see that there's really too much of a difference between the two in the end for most people. But the modules all had the code in the root folder because when you would reference their module, you would just reference it with your code in the root folder and then all the dependencies and subfolders, and then it would be like a repo that you would clone. And so you'd have a bunch of different repos, and then you could like, change the versioning of it. And that just shows it definitely shows you where like there's some difficulties with these build systems. And, especially with versioning, how exactly you go about doing that. Sadly, Embed is no longer with us. Embed is a victim of the um I don't know why ARM ended it. It's like the C++ version of Arduino for ARM. I don't know. Maybe they makes me wonder if it's good to use. Or if it just didn't make economic sense to continue? Is it like they hired too many people, they had to fire people, and that was like lower priority? That would piss me off. Okay, but I want to make a. I have to pick a module format. Am I going to continue with this? If I'm going to continue with this, doing it the way I need to do it, then maybe I need to do a symbolic link to um, a relative folder. And then I can just spoof the repo by I can spoof the oh shoot. Oh, there goes the stream. It's down. Uh, OBS is locked up. Do not pass go. Do not. Oh, there it is. Is it responding? Might be responding. I don't know. Oh, yep, it's back. Cool, got it. All right, we have survived. Oh, I still don't know where I'm going to do this. Am I going to do the? I can do the relative symbolic link. Or I could just, I mean, it's easiest if if you have a structure where you could just store your things in the project folder, like where all your projects are nested, and then you don't have to have an extra level of like where like all the, the repos are all in the same root, and then you also have to. It's nice to just have all your repos in like one project where it's like you stick the code in the project in the folder and then it exists there. Well, my system is, I got my GitHub organization folder, and then inside of that I've got all my repos. And because the APIs are shared, but you know, it's like trying to like use an npm library when you're developing with it, but like when you have like a bunch of different libraries that's depending on your code for your npm library, it breaks down and it just doesn't work very well at all. Shit, man, if I don't get this shit done, dude, I might as well pack up and go home, dude. Go get myself a loser shirt, some clown outfits. What, it's pouring down rain outside here. Oh no. Jeez, I do not want to go outside. Maybe I should just try doing, dot 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 forward slash dot 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 forward slash crabs. Maybe I could do that. If it fixes my problem, I mean, I don't see that as being like horrible, you know. Just add it to the quick start. I don't even really want to deal with that. Um, Peace. It's coming down outside. Luckily, it's pretty warm. Oops. Right. So what's the first thing I do? Oh, import a room. Yeah. Um, I need to do that. I haven't programmed in C++ in a while. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What do we do? Oh, I haven't programmed in C++ in so long. It's ridiculous, dude. I used to program in C++ all the time, dude. So I gotta do these first before I import the stuff. Now I need to set up, what is it? Just gonna call it SSDB. Second. Wait, why would I have that? This thing did a horrible job. But got the thing going, so that's why I view AI. It's like AI slop to get you going is okay if you're an expert. And you're like, all right, well, I'm having a roadblock getting this project going. Been years. I keep talking about it. So, what would you rather have? AI slop or nothing? Wait, why am I doing that here? There's like an order of include of which, like when you use the triangle brackets, it's going to look in the order of the directories. I don't want to do too much work in here right now. This isn't really the C++ editor, which is Visual Studio. Damn, dude, why am I having to do this? I should not have to be doing this. I'm so pissed off at myself for. D. What a pain in the ass. Well, I mean, welcome to C++. How did I not notice that I did not pass in the end of the buffer? So how is this even a problem? All right, well, it's almost dinner time for me, so I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for tuning in.